Most people who've lived in or even visited Canberra have heard him play, but not many would recognise him. George Howe has been playing at the National Carillon in Canberra since 1977. Now in his mid-80s, he's decided to call it a day. And he put on one last show, as Ben Lisson reports.
George Howe's music has resonated across Lake Burley-Griffin for 3 decades, providing a soundtrack for an expanding city.
You can play any sort of music on here, and things that people you hope would like as they go past, because you can't see your audience.
He may not have been able to see them, but today they were there in force, listening to him for the last time.
He's such a wonderful musician, and he knows so much about the Carillon, so much about music.
George played Ode to Joy, Song of Joy for our wedding here.
Was George definitely? Or?
Yeah, we walked across the, instead of down the aisle, across the bridge and
just
married
like
just over
years
here.
Ago.
He's played an integral role in the history of the National Carillon, a gift from the British government, built in 1970.
We saw this wonderful instrument being built and thought very little of it, perhaps.
A few years later, Mr Howe, an experienced organist, responded to a newspaper ad calling for a carillonist.
I apparently was the only applicant, and so I thought, well, I'll be here for 3 months, 6 months, you know, but I'll find someone who can really play this instrument.
33 years on, and only now is he calling curtains. He's seen the Carillon change dramatically with new bells, elevators and even air conditioning.
We now have what's a world-class instrument. Sound-wise, position-wise, sound going across water, couldn't be better.
Nor could Mr Howe, who will leave behind a distinct legacy.
A room upstairs is named after him, the George Howe room.
And on his final bash of the bells, Mr Howe was a showman to the end.
How's that?
Ben Lisson, ABC News, Canberra.